download the rules real quick for LUTI just to make sure. There's no rules in Spectator.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Okay. Hey DRF, can you say test 1 2 a few times really quickly?
Yes, sir. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2.
Alright, you're good. Thank you. Sorry guys, we're doing a quick mic test. Test 1 2 3. That was for you, Uzi. Alright, okay, back to pre-stream.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 1 of LUTI for UCSD Esports. Oh man, it is good to be back. My name is DRF, former UCSD Esports player and now coach for this team. So, unfortunately, I can't be there with this team right now, but they are all together right now at the new Triton Esports Center, competing together as a team, taking on Vivace here in week 1. And we are going to be diving very quickly into our first game, which will be Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy. So for today, we do have a pretty tight lineup for both these teams. Both teams, I believe, will be running a 4-man roster, and you will also be seeing a little bit of things that you might not be used to with these teams, and particularly with UCSD Esports. This is a brand new UCSD Esports team from last year. Mofugami, the only returner for UCSD Esports, and has been working with a number of these players who have never ever played in the competitive scene. Their first real tournament was LUTI, so now LUTI is going to be a brand new experience for all of them. But diving into this, we do see a pretty much of a stalemate right out of the gate. Actually, neither team really able to do much right now, playing relatively passive. Oh, and that's going to be a nice 2v1 pick there. But, of course, ZD Woomy coming in. Oh, that is my boy Ari with that Carbon Deco. Going to be a complete menace here for Vivace. And that's going to probably be one of the biggest things that Vivace is going to have to try to figure out throughout this set. But we do see Goatchild and CD Woomy both going down now. So it is going to be Vivace that gets control of this tower finally, and putting points on the board, overcoming that lead. Obviously, there wasn't much of a lead to try to overcome in the first place, but even bigger is this first checkpoint that they're getting through. So now it's going to be Sunlight trying to get a pick there, but unfortunately going up against that sloshing machine was going to be pretty difficult to get done. And that's going to be 3 down now for Vivace. Goatchild with a nice bomb there, going to be trying to ink up this plat to give themselves a little bit more wiggle room. Because if another push were to come, Goatchild gonna have a little bit of difficulty trying to maneuver around. And now we do see the Booyah Bomb coming out from Mofugami, who is rocking that K-Gal. So definitely a little bit of an unexpected weapon from Mofugami, best known for his CDS play. And the Stingray now gonna be coming in return. Unfortunately, that is gonna be 2 down yet again for UCSD Esports. So Vivace going to try to pick up where they left off. Mofugami getting a nice pick there. That's going to be 2 down for Vivace. And unfortunately, with Mofugami going down, though, I'm not sure if UCSD Esports is going to be able to convert this defense into offense. But Sunlight going to go ahead and get on this tower, and they're going to try anyways. They do actually get that second pick, which is going to be huge. And at this point, there is a little bit of contest right over that wall there, but the splash wall gonna be coming in to try to make it a little bit easier. They do need to get through this first checkpoint though. That is gonna be a huge key for them, and they are just inches away from making that happen. Sunlight gonna get on the tower and force their way through this checkpoint, and it is going to work. Unfortunately, they do go down. Booyah Bomb now gonna be coming out. Oh, yeah, of course it's Ari coming in on the plat, getting a double. Unfortunately, just misses the triple. The Stingray coming out to try to support Mofugami, but Mofugami facing a 1v2, able to get one before going down himself. Wow, a big play there. Unfortunately, UCSD Esports is not going to be able to get the lead, but 67 points remaining is a pretty good place to be at, right now, given how that push sort of went. And there is Ari once again trying to cause trouble for Vivace, able to get one before going down himself. So unfortunately, not going to be able to convert this into bigger points. But now we have Sage. Sage is just continuing to be a major problem. In the scouting report, actually, that UCSD Esports put together, I don't think that they were accounting for Sage to be in this lineup, but this might actually be a pretty different player from what is listed on their roster. But I will leave that up to the LUTI admins to probably update that eventually. But 45 seconds to play. This is actually a very, very low-scoring tower control Inkblot Art Academy game. Normally, you would see at least one team pushing that tower to that second checkpoint, but neither team has really even sniffed that second checkpoint yet. And now we see Mofugami going down again. Ari trying to make up for that loss there and is able to get one nice pick. However, with these sensors, Ari having a little bit of a hard time trying to maneuver around like they normally would, being all sneaky like and trying to get a couple of quick picks. And now with 10 seconds to play, UCSD Esports facing a little bit of a numbers deficit, but of course it's Ari that's going to be trying to make this up. Can they get on the tower though? It is going to be Ari that has to get on the tower themselves. They're going to have to try to stay alive here. They do get one nice pick. Sunlight going to try to get on the tower. They do get on it just in time, but unfortunately going to be a trade there. And Vivace will be taking game number 1. A really, really interesting game 1 there between both of these teams. It was just so low scoring. And you really don't see that on Tower Control Inkblot Art Academy. So I feel like both these teams maybe just trying to like shake out a little bit of nerves. It is, you know, week 1 of LUTI. So, you know, both teams just trying to get a feel for it, just get into the rhythm. And it really just seemed like neither team was able to hit their stride at all that game. It was just a very scrappy, messy fight all around from both teams. So, will be interesting to see how this translates into game number 2, which will be on Rainmaker Black Belly Skate Park. Now, for UCSD Esports here, this is going to be a little bit interesting. Because Goatchild is primarily a charger player. So you typically don't see a whole lot of chargers on this map mode combo. But you can be rest assured that I'm pretty sure Goatchild will be bringing out a Stingray charger to utilize here because, you know, as we all know, that GG Ray is just oh so effective. Mofugami, on the other hand, really when playing with UCSD Esports, you never know what Mofugami will be pulling out because this is a little bit of a more unconventional comp that this team is trying to work with, and Mofugami is simply trying to fill in the gaps. And of course, you do have, I guess, a one trick in CD Woomy with that Carbon Deco. So really, you have now this Carbon Deco charger combo on UCSD Esports that you need to design the rest of your team around. And both Sunlight and Mofugami are, you know, pretty good at kind of pivoting where necessary. Although it does force them sometimes into less comfortable weapons. Alright, but let's go ahead and see what types of adjustments these teams make on Black Belly Rainmaker. So it is going to be Mofugami rocking the end zap, and instead it's going to be Sunlight who is on the CDS. Hopefully going to be making Mofugami proud here. On the other end, we do see that Junior going to be pouring out just so much ink and that Jet Squelcher for that very crucial Ray for really any push or any defensive stop. But the K Machine as well is going to be absolutely key here. We're trying to get a couple of, you know, picks over the ledges that compose this map. And now we are seeing 2 down on the side of Vivace. Will UCSD Esports act on this? It doesn't seem like they're going to do anything quite yet. They're going to play it a little bit safe, and they do pick it up, but, you know, a little bit of a questionable decision there, waiting until the members of Vivace got back on their feet, and now UCSD Esports facing a 1-4 deficit in manpower. And Mofugami is going to be going down in the half-pipe, so Vivace will gladly pick up this Rainmaker now with 2 specials at hand. But of course, it is Ari on their Carbon Deco trying to make a big hero play here. getting two people trying to chase down this Rainmaker. Unfortunately, though, not able to get the job done, although that pushed the Rainmaker very, very far back. And now, ooh, we saw that K-Gal utilizing that shield to get a nice pick on the Charger. So they're going to be taking this up towards that maze area, and it is going to be a numbers advantage for Vivace. They are pushing this Rainmaker far. 30 points remaining. Make it 20. Make it 10. Will they get the KO? Yes, they will. Vivace taking an early 2-0 lead in this LUTI set. So UCSD Esports still trying to, get their bearings, it seems like. Struggling early on in this set. So this team hasn't had a whole lot of time to practice together, at least not yet. They're still honestly trying to really figure out what this team identity is, given that everyone on this team has such a wide range of experience and skills. Each player, though, particularly on UCSD Esports, being a great player in their own right. So now the question is, can they fit these pieces together and, overcome this early 0-2 deficit? They are really testing themselves early on in this set and in this season. But it seems like both Goatchild and CD Woomy already know what they want. So they are going to be readying up almost immediately. So but like I mentioned earlier, you can anticipate that being a Charger Carbon Deco combo there. Those two players don't exactly run much else there. So now the question is, Sunlight Mofugami, what are they going to pivot to? But meanwhile, on the side of Vivace, we have seen, oh gosh. All right, so I'm also getting word that Sage is RASP. I don't even remember that being on the roster either. All right, LUTI might have not updated their roster sheet in a bit, so. Because this, I know for a fact that when we worked on this scouting report, they only had 4 people on the roster at the time. 3 of which are in this game right now. I'm guessing that Persimmon might be this person, or this could just be someone that was added after the initial sign-up period concluded. All right. So taking a look at the comps here, UCSD Esports going to be sort of sticking to their guns for the most part. The CDS being traded out for the VDS instead, and the Charger, I believe, switching off to a Fire Fin. So a couple of interesting adjustments there. Meanwhile, Vivace going to be getting quick control of this zone. Going to be able to take out that Carbon Deco, and that is going to be 2 down for UCSD Esports. He ends up now finding Mofugami and going to be taking him down. So once again, UCSD Esports starting to stagger a little bit. Goatchild going to be peeking out the window, trying to get some nice picks there. CD Woomy now trying to push up a little bit. Vivace has sort of taken control of I guess I've really pushed back UCSD Esports into their own base, really kind of making them fear just moving into the zone. But UCSD Esports is going to cap the zone there for a whole 2 seconds, which is just enough to slap on a huge 45+ point penalty. But very quickly, Vivace is working on this penalty now as they have infiltrated the base of UCSD Esports. Missiles now coming out from Sunlight to try to scatter the members of Vivace. But UCSD Esports starting to slowly run out of time. The missiles now going to be taking out Sunlight. And once again, 2 down for UCSD Esports. But now the numbers have finally gotten into UCSD Esports' favor. But the question is, can they flip this zone fast enough Bomb Rush coming out to try to get the job done. And there it is, right in the nick of time. That Bomb Rush going to be saving UCSD Esports for the time being. So Vivace does get back control here. Ari now making a big move. Try to take out a member of Vivace. Doing so successfully. And a nice burst bomb roller combo there. That's going to be, almost a triple for Ari. Somehow, though, that I do not know how that E-Leader got out of there in time. But unfortunately, that is going to give them a little bit more wiggle room. And this is probably the first real push that we have seen from UCSD Esports this set. The armor now coming out for Vivace. Vivace going to be utilizing this to try to push back in. Mofugami caught on an island on his own. Going to be trying to back out of it. Does so successfully. They're going to try to recap the zone, and they do. Numbers continue to be in UCSD Esports' favor for the time being, but Vivace constantly keeping that zone, you know, sort of at bay a little bit, not letting the game get out of hand. But now it's going to be Mofugami trying to make a move. I think that was Sunlight instead of getting that pick. The zone flipping back in favor of Vivace, but Vivace is 2 members down yet again. UCSD Esports finally, you know, breathing a little bit of life here as they get a couple of crucial picks there and back control of the zone. This is the UCSD Esports team that I think everyone came here to watch. A much better push there from them. Unfortunately, though, it is going to be a 3v3 situation, but it's going to be Ari that continues to be an absolute menace here in the side of Vivace. But unfortunately, going down there, it took 3 people, though, to take down that Carbon Echo. So, just Ari continuing to be a major problem. But now Vivace finally back in control, stopping the bleeding for now, and hoping to finish the job here once and for all with this one last push. UCSD Esports building up some specials now. The Carbon does have that chicken rush that is probably going to need to come out here any second now. The Charger is going to go down there. Unfortunately, that is 3 down yet again for UCSD Esports. Vivace will be taking game number 3. Alright. Unfortunately for UCSD Esports, continue to dig themselves a hole here in week 1, going down 0-3. But that was a much better game from UCSD Esports, and it's starting to seem like that they are finding their footing just a little bit, but they continue to not have the answers to deal with this comp. I think particularly that sloshing machine really making things difficult on them. So it'll be interesting to see if they do have any answers for that here on Clamblitz Humpback Pump Track. And as always, ZD Woomy, ready's up. No surprises there. But, you know, it's kind of interesting to see that even so, as dominant as Vivace has been, they are making very careful adjustments between each game. Especially, you know, I'm sure that it was also probably a little bit difficult to compile their own scouting report against UCSD Esports. There has not been a whole lot of footage to go off of with this team, as you know, this roster for UCSD Esports does run 5 deep. Unfortunately, one member is at home with family in preparation for the Thanksgiving holiday. So it is going to, like I said, be 4 strong for UCSD Esports. But both of these teams have readied up. And we are ready to dive into Game 4 on Clamblitz on Back Pump Track. Alright, GoChild gonna be swapping out the Charger for the Heavy Remix. That is gonna be I think that is the correct play, first of all. I feel like with Humpback, you know, a Charger is so much more difficult to use compared to a Splatling. But we very quickly do see that Mofugami is going down. And look at Vivace already trying to make a move under the basket of UCSD Esports. That's honestly kind of an interesting play. I mean, they did not have the clams to make anything work there, so I guess they were just trying to hope for like an early lockout. But that clearly was not going to work quite yet, as they did not have the clams to make anything work. Gochild, though, might be letting this power clam expire. Unfortunately, they do. Not sure what the play was there. They could have 100% kept that alive. But I suppose that... I guess they did not want to give up their position either, but they definitely could have grabbed that and tossed it back. Vivace now starting to get a little bit more control of this clam economy, holding 13 clams in their pockets. That is going to be now one down for Vivace. UCSD Esports does have a special online. They can try to start pushing up a little bit with this. The Squeezer, though, going to be trying to do a little bit of a small flank here and turn that into a big flank, as they're going to set up shop behind the basket. Tossing a few clams ahead of them for whatever reason. They only have 4 clams there. They weren't really going to try to make anything out of that. But here is the first push, and it is going to be for Vivace. UCSD Esports, that's going to be a complete wipe. And oh no, UCSD Esports in a lot of trouble. More clams coming in now for Vivace. They're going to try to seal this deal in one push. They have 11 more clams. Make that 12 more clams. Can they get a stop? Ari going to be coming in with that roller, forcing this stop. Able to get 2 there. A huge play there from Ari. That's going to be 3 down for Vivace. Can UCSD Esports convert this now into a push of their own? UCSD Esports with 3 specials online, but not the clams to initiate a push quite yet. Starting to slowly build up that clam count. The chicken rush now coming out from Ari. Gonna be just throwing it. That's a bit of a spray and pray there. Just throwing as many bombs as you can all over the place. Hopefully just get some ink all over the map. And Ari gonna try to push with this power clam on his own. Unfortunately, not gonna be able to score it. They are gonna try to force this one more time, but that is also gonna be no good. So now UCSD Esports gonna have to probably let this clam go. Mofugami was trying to make a move for it, but unfortunately is not able to save that power clam. UCSD Esports, though, still keeping the pressure up. UCSD Esports continuing to just get the picks that they need right now, but unfortunately, as soon as they get 1-2 picks, they go 2-3 people down themselves. And that's not going to be very effective when trying to make a push of their own. Now we see UCSD Esports backed up into their own base. There's a lot of green paint on the ground. Ari now kind of just overlooking this push, able to get 1 pick. Gonna come around and try to surprise, I believe that's the Squeezer. Yes, it is. Able to get that pick as well. Ari just continues to play at such a high level for UCSD Esports, continuing to keep them in this game, in this set. However, with 1 minute to play, this is starting to become a little bit of a tricky situation for UCSD Esports. They have not yet gathered a convincing push at all. They had 1 attempt at it and missed. But now that's going to be 2 down for Vivace. Can this be the push that UCSD Esports was looking for? The Booyah Bomb now going to be coming out. Throwing it towards that elbow. Going to be forcing the Slosher to back up a little bit. The missile's now coming out, though, trying to get as many people as possible. And now Vivace starting to get backed up into their base, but UCSD Esports still does not have the clam count that they really desire to make this push work. 15 seconds to go. Finally, another pick as well. But UCSD Esports hasn't gotten that wipe, that hasn't gotten that 3-person advantage that they've wanted. They might not be able to even get a pusher at all. They think this will go into overtime, though, at the very least. The Booyah Bomb coming out. It is going to take out the Junior and the Kega, I believe. Now this is going to be with 1 last effort, but no, it is down to Gochild in mid to try to make something happen. Unfortunately, that is going to be a wipe. on UCSD Esports. Vivace will be taking a 4-0 lead. All right. See, and looking at that KA distribution between these two teams, it just was perfectly even there. It really was just Vivace managed to convert those kills into the pushes that they were looking for. So now UCSD Esports facing as big of a deficit as they could in this set, 0-4. So this is a huge, huge mountain for them to climb, and they're gonna have to get that started on Tower Control the Reef. Now, this is a map mode combo that, at least me personally, I'm not a big fan of. I don't know why this is in the map list. You pretty much don't ever see this in any other map list except for LUTI, but we gotta play through it nonetheless. I will say that I do favor the idea of having a larger map list, especially for a 6-week league. I think that is, perfectly fine. So even if it does allow for less common map mode combos such as Tower Control Reef to enter. I'm being told that this was in low ink. I mean, I also did well, I did not see it today, and I was commentating day one, so. Shellendorf Tower is actually a decent map mode combo. Like, that one I would take actually over the Reef. Alright, well, both of these teams have readied up, and we will be entering game number 5. UCSD Esports on their last legs, trying to keep this set alive. Every game counts, because especially in the scoring system of LUTI, you do get a point for every game that you win, even if you lose the set. So that can be absolutely crucial in tiebreaker situations when it comes to looking at the playoffs down the road. And losing 0-5 in week 1 is definitely going to be a difficult barrier to, overcome, both in the playoff push and just mentally as a new team trying to figure out what it is their identity is, and they are going to get wiped right out of the gate. Now, the interesting thing with Tower Control Reef is that this first checkpoint is probably the easiest checkpoint in all of Tower Control maps. It is really hard to just contest that. It's one of those that you kind of just need to let go no matter what. But Ari now going to be forcing 2 down. And the second checkpoint is where things start to get a little bit more real for UCSD Esports. They can let that first checkpoint go, but the moment the second checkpoint goes, that is when you are in a lot of trouble. Gochow not without a lot of paint to work with here, and they go 2 down yet again. So UCSD Esports going to be staggering just a little bit, as now 8 is going to be jumping in, riding this tower, pushing through this third checkpoint. Mofugami going to be taking on a 1v3 here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get anybody. But there are 3 people from UCSD Esports ready to defend this tower with their life. But unfortunately, Sunlight goes down, Gochow goes down. It is all left to Ari to defend this tower. The Chicken Rush now going to be coming out to try to slow down this tower, and that Chicken Rush came in at the perfect time, allowing his teammates to respawn. Unfortunately, Ari does go down himself. And now UCSD Esports going to have to try to get the stop here with numbers not in their favor. Ari now going to be trying to get a stop on the bridge, but unfortunately, that is going to be game, set, and match. Vivace winning this week 1 LUTI set 5-0. So a rough start for the LUTI season, or to the LUTI season for UCSD Esports. Definitely not the result that they wanted to see at all, but great games to Vivace. They figured this one out really quickly and just managed to keep a hold on from start to finish. So UCSD Esports definitely has a lot to work on here, but it is going to be an interesting journey to follow along with. So even though this week 1 set might be over, we will be aiming to stream every single LUTI match this season for UCSD Esports. So be sure to come back week after week to see how UCSD progresses through this league. For now, though, I think we'll go ahead and sign off. This has been DRF. If you would like to, follow me on any social media platforms, I am on Twitter at DRF_Splatoon, and on Twitch, I stream there from time to time, Triton DRF. So back to the drawing board for UCSD Esports. So, and also want to give a huge thank you to EJ for streaming this match for us today. And we will continue to work together to bring you more UCSD Esports content. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been DRF. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.